Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura Bunn, for those of you who don't already know that. And today I'm going to be showing you my January favourites. It's really scary that we're at the end of January, starting February, but it's an exciting month because it's my birthday and I'm going to be 21. Woo! So that's really exciting, but anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Let me show you what my favourites for this month were. To start off with, for this month, I was all about the skin in the month of January. Even though the weather in Sydney was quite shocking, it was really hot, and I sort of wanted to be all about a fairly natural looking face, quite dewy and glowy. And even though I tend to get a little bit oilier during the hotter months, my skin's still sort of on the drier side, so I always really like to feel like my skin's hydrated and it's not gonna sort of suck up any like powders or any products that I put on top of my skin and look really gross. So the first thing that I do when I have been, going in with like foundation and that sort of thing, before that I go in with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. So when I originally got this, I wasn't too sure if it was just going to be literally water and I would just like had been sucked into another gimmick, but I don't really know what it is about this product, but it just makes my skin feel really hydrated. It smells just really refreshing, and especially, so I do use that before my foundation, but even afterwards, if I'm not wanting to go in with Fix Plus, which makes me look quite dewy, I'll go in with this just to sort of settle any of the powders, and it just kind of like blends everything together and makes everything look really hydrated and, just seamless and really nice. So that is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. So another one of my favourites is from Mecca Cosmetica here in Australia, and it is the Mecca Cosmetica To Save Eyes SPF 30 Hydrating Eye Cream. And the thing that I really like about this is it sinks in quickly enough and it's not too heavy that I can use it before applying makeup or sort of like in the morning as well. And it's also good that it's SPF 30 because I feel like the under eyes is such a delicate area and it's really important to protect them, especially during summer when it is really hot and the sun rays are just like beating down on your face. It's got a little rollable applicator, so you just literally like roll it on underneath your eyes, and because it's like, I don't really know what it's made out of, some sort of like metal, it's quite cooling and soothing to the eye area. So even if I'm not wearing makeup during the day, I'll sort of like throw this in my beach bag or my handbag or whatever, and I'll just throw it on. So not only am I protecting my under eye area with SPF 30, it's also just sort of refreshing it and cooling my eye area down when it gets really hot and bothered. So that is the To Save Eyes SPF 30 Plus Hydrating Eye Cream by Mecca Cosmetica. My next favourite is the Josie Maran Argan Illuminiser. So as you can see in the bottle, it is super glowy and fabulous, but it also is really great because it has multiple uses. I have mainly been using it mixed in with either like a BB cream or a fuller coverage foundation. It doesn't look, sparkly or anything like that. It just looks really luminous. It just adds, and you only need like the tiniest amount. I mean, I probably still use too much, but like I've literally used this so many times and it doesn't even look like I've used it. So I just mix that in. If I'm using my beauty blender, which I most often am during summer, I'll just like pump like the tiniest little, like it comes out in like a squiggle onto the back of the beauty blender, and then just like put a pump or however many pumps of my foundation on, and then just blend it in as normal. So that just adds a little bit of a luminosity and like a little bit of a glow to the skin. But what's also really good about it is that you can use it for a highlighter as well. So if you're wanting to do a little bit of a liquid highlight, or if you're wanting to sort of lay something down before you go in with your powder, which I'm sure we all do because everyone loves the glow. So I would just get like the tiniest, again, you really only need a small amount with this product. I mean, can't really be too heavy-handed, but kind of can. And then I just, dab a little bit of it on my finger, and then I would just sort of apply it to the tops of my cheeks or sort of wherever I was wanting to illuminate and bring light to that area. So it's a really good multi-use product, and Josie Maran has beautiful sort of base products. So if you're in the market for like a liquid illuminizer, something to mix in with your foundation, this is a really good option. Okay, so next is another sort of base item. I was sort of really all about the skin during January. I don't know why, just during the summer months I feel like it's sort of like less emphasis on a dramatic eye or like a really dramatic lip, and it's sort of all about the skin. So a foundation that I've sort of hadn't been using as much since I purchased it like a few months back when it first came out, but over January I just felt myself reaching for it the most out of all my foundations, and it is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I am in the shade Porcelain. I used this in my last tutorial. I will link that down below if you want to see it in action. But it's just, I would say it is a medium to somewhat buildable full coverage. I mean, I've got it on my skin today. I've sort of had it on for a few hours, but it does have a certain luminosity to it, but it is oil free, so it would be suitable for oily skin. Again, I'm sort of combination dry, especially during summer, but it just looks like your skin. I know it's meant to be like, you're born this way, but it generally does look like your skin. Obviously not exactly like your skin, but you can't really visibly see that you have the foundation on your skin. And the thing that I like about it is, even though it has a decent amount of enough of coverage to cover any blemishes that I may have, or I get sort of like some discoloration down here and, you know, a little bit of pigmentation and scarring from sort of old acne, but it lets sort of like my little freckles show through, which I really like during summer, because I think it's just, you're wanting to go for that sort of more natural kind of flawless look. So, and I like applying this with a beauty blender. I think it works best with a beauty blender, in saying that I've used it with my flat top kabuki brushes before and it works fine, but my preference is with a beauty blender. I think they work together really, really well. And I probably, to achieve this sort of coverage, which I think is like around a medium leaning towards full coverage, I use 2 pumps on the back of my beauty blender. So again, some of that product probably just gets sucked up a little bit by the beauty blender, but that covers my entire face, and I can blend it down my neck a little bit as well. But it's just a really, really amazing foundation. I think it's probably comparable, if not slightly better in my opinion, than the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, but again, I really, really like it. So that is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. You guys are really going to be sick of face products by the end of this video, but you'll be informed. So another favourite that I have been really, really leaning towards and grabbing during the month of January is my MAC Mineralize Skinfinish powder, and I'm in the shade Medium Plus. So it is basically one of their Mineralize Skinfinish powders. So essentially I use this powder to set any areas that I haven't set with either like a translucent or a brightening powder. So generally that's sort of like the outer perimeter of my forehead, sort of around my jawline area, and like a little bit sort of around my nose and upper lip. It adds the tiniest bit of coverage, but without adding any cake. And even though it is sort of like a bit more of like, I mean, it probably doesn't look that tan, but it's obviously not translucent, it doesn't add any dramatic color that it alters the foundation shade. So it's just a really, really good powder if you're not wanting a translucent powder and just like something with a little bit of color. While we were on the topic of face and glow as well, I want to talk about a highlighter that I don't think gets enough credit. I think it is, I mean, I can't remember if it was limited edition or not, but I think you can still get it. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. But it's by Laura Mercier, who does amazing highlighters, and it is the Laura Mercier highlighter, and it is in the shade Indiscretion. Let me show you. I've got it on today, and it's just gorgeous. So it looks like this. Firstly, I mean, not all highlighters look like this, but it's just like a bronzy champagne-y color. It's just, it never looks grainy. It glides onto the skin, it just melts into your skin. It doesn't sit on top of it. It really meshes well with all the other products on my face, and it adds a glow that has impact, but not unlike a lot of other highlighters where you can, I mean, obviously you can tell I have highlighter on, but it's just not one of those ones that has like a shimmer to it or like a sparkle. It's just really, really glowy, and it's just so beautiful. Laura Mercier has done an amazing job with this highlighter. So that is Laura Mercier Indiscretion. So my next favorite is an oldie but a goodie. It is the MAC 217 brush. If you do not have this brush, I highly, highly, highly recommend this. I have got so many other brushes from like Sigma and Zoeva and all of that, and they're all amazing brushes and I love them, and I have probably way too many for my own good. But every time I use this, it just, and I've had this for so long, and it just never fails me. It's just the right amount of fluffiness, but it's good because you've got that angle there to sort of like get it right in the crease. But then if you sort of flip it that way, then you can kind of, when you have a little bit less product, sort of like buff it onto the upper sort of brow area. It's so fluffy, it distributes the product so well. It's just, and it blends everything so nicely. It's just an amazing brush. If you get any eye brushes from MAC, the 217 is a must have. Highly recommend it. My next favorite is a lip product, and it is the one that I have on my lips today. It is the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick, I believe it's called. And this one is in the shade Lolita 2. It is, in my opinion, one of the best formulas of liquid lipstick that I've used. I've used Too Faced, which I love, ColourPop, quite a few others, Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's just something about it. It's just so comfortable on the lips. It doesn't give you a massive butthole lip. It's just super long wearing. It doesn't budge, but it doesn't have that dry feeling like you can feel it on your lips. Like right now, I don't feel like I'm wearing any lip product. And the color is really beautiful. I think I prefer it more than the original Lolita. I like that it's sort of a bit more of like a rusty kind of color, and I really like pairing it when I'm wearing a bit more of a warmer toned eye. And I just think, especially depending on what lip liner you use underneath, like today I'm wearing Stoop Down by MAC, because I sort of wanted to keep it more of like a brown earthy tone. But if you use like a more berry tone lip liner or even more of a nude lip liner, it switches it up a bit as well. But I just think it's a really beautiful color. So guys, that completes my favorites for the month of January. Again, this month has flown by and it's really scary that we're pretty much in February now. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up because it would mean a lot to me. And also please subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. I would love to hear some feedback about what you guys would like to see from me on my channel next. Leave me some suggestions down in the comments below. I would really appreciate it. Until next time guys, I will see you in my next video.